Whenever I'm given the chance to pick a branch of science to focus on, I always gravitate towards nature and things like environmental science and ecology. Stuff like medicine has always been like a huge drag to me, and that has been really tough, but I stumbled across a scientist who was able to base their entire livelihood and fame on connecting with the outdoors, so I felt a huge connection with them instantly. So, Dr. Suzanne Simard was born in 1960 in the Monashee Mountains in British Columbia, Canada. She spent a lot of time in forests growing up because her family worked as foresters for generations, and this was a profession that she intended to follow. She got a job at a commercial logging company where her job was to look at the seeds and seedlings that were planted after the area was clear cut. She noticed that the seedlings were yellow and dying, so her goal was to figure out why and get to the bottom of it. She went to school then. She got her Bachelor's of Science and Forestry from the University of British Columbia in Forest Resource Management, and then she got her Master's and PhD from Oregon State in Forest Ecology. And along this intense fascination with trees and forests, she discovered a phenomenon that she would base pretty much the rest of her life in studying, understanding, and educating about. In August of 1997, she led research in and published a paper titled Net Transfer of Carbon Between Ectomycorrhizal Tree Species in the Field. And in this lab, her and her team discovered that some trees had a fungal mycelium connection in which they were able to transfer carbon and other vital nutrients to each other through this sort of network. And rather than viewing trees as independent competitors fighting for resources, she could see that they were sort of an interdependent ecosystem. And this work would end up in the journal Nature, where they also coined the term the Wood Wide Web, which I think is very cute. This information I don't think is really commonplace right now, but I feel like if you're in the life sciences, you've probably heard of it. But I don't know if you knew it came from her. Anyways, after this research, Simard was set on understanding pretty much everything about this fungal system, which connected the world that she loved. And as such, this has sort of become her thing. Like, since 1997, she's been a part of over 30 different research papers and articles, and the grand majority, if not all of them that I could tell, were about this mycorrhizal connection. Another article which I found really interesting and a bit more comprehensible was one about the sort of setup of the mycorrhizal web, specifically about fir trees, and her team mapped out the fungal connection of one specific forest that looked like this. This is a little hard to understand, but the different colors represent different species of trees, and it shows just like the general linkage of the mycorrhizal connections. A similar yet slightly different figure was this, where they're represented by circles. Bigger the circle, bigger the diameter of the tree. Darker the green means the older the tree is, and then you can see the connections that all trees have. And there's this one circle that has an arrow next to it that has the most connections, which is linked to 47 other trees. I just think this stuff is pretty awesome. I discovered Dr. Simard from her TED Talk about this same thing, and it just wowed me. It especially did so through a parallel concept that she talks a lot about, which is the concept of mother trees. She has a whole book written about it now that I'll probably read at some point. But the mother trees are the biggest and or the oldest trees in the forest, which share all their excess nutrients with their seedlings. Remember that tree with the arrow in that picture? That's the mother tree. And that's just so cool to me. It makes my love of trees feel vindicated, and especially the fact that it has influenced pop culture. There was this little movie that came out, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Avatar, and in it there was this tree called the Tree of Souls. I'll give you one guess what that was based off of. Yep, and that's confirmed. And I think Dr. Simard's deep love and care for forests and trees really just struck a chord with me, and her discoveries made becoming interested in her work incredibly easily. And I feel like it gave me a little more certainty that if I go forth onto a career of ecology and environmental biology and whatever, I can still be successful. I can still be known for something while doing the thing I love, and I don't have to resort to doing medicine that I don't love. And I really enjoyed getting to hear all of Dr. Simard's story. Thank you for watching.